In this video, we'll be looking at an extension called Pen. So go to the lower left corner, click on the plus, and then you see all kind of extension. So this time we'll be looking at the Pen extension. So once you add the extension, you see that the Pen extension category is here. And then you have a bunch of different blocks. So what can you do with the pen? So you can draw it on the stage here. But first, instead of using the cat, we'll be using some other sprite. So because we are drawing, so we will actually be using a pencil. So actually we don't need the cat anymore, but for the pencil, well, we'll need to move it so that the tip of the pencil is at the center here, so that it will look like it's drawing from the pencil instead of drawing the center point of the pencil. Okay, so when we come back, so we can start drawing. So like usual, we'll be using the when green flag click button or block. And then what we'll do is to go to the pen, and then we will put the pen down. Actually, can make it a little bit smaller. So, and then we can move the sprite. So, for example, move it 100. So, and we can run it. So you see drawing a line from the tip of the pencil. So it's better that you erase everything before you draw it. Otherwise, you keep drawing on the stage. So you may want to put a erase all at the beginning, and also set the location of the pen. So maybe I want to start with somewhere at negative 100 and 100. So when I run it, so we go to this location and draw it here. So, and next, what we can do, of course, we can change the color. So we can make it a different color. So this one, draw a different color. And then we can use different sliding position. So for example, just glide to a random position. So I mean, every time when I run it, it will draw to a different angle or any random position. Okay, so other than that, we can of course draw some shape. So we do not need this one. So to draw a shape, so for example, if you want to draw a rectangle, so a rectangle we have 4 sizes. So we can use a loop at 4 sides. So we will draw a square this time. So then we can move the pencil. So for example, just draw it a little bit larger, 100. And then what we can do is to rotate a little bit. So because every time after you draw 100, it will be going to rotate it 90 degrees. So after 4 times, you draw your square. So however, at the beginning, we should make sure that our point of direction is at the 90-degree angle. So because every time after you draw it, it will be in some other angles. So let's see. So this time you see that it draws a rectangle, right? Or we can draw a triangle. So let's change a color first. Change to another color. So for example, this time is a blue one or kind of purple-ish one. So this time, I might just go to a random position so that it will start to another place. But however, I may want to move the pen up first. Otherwise, we draw all the way to this random location. So make sure your pen is up. and then go to a random location and put the pen down again. Or you want to use a loop this time. So we have a loop. So this time we're drawing triangle, so 3 sizes. So then we can move it. So for example, use the move first. So 100 again. And then this time we'll be turning the angle. So we'll be turning 120 degrees so that it will draw a line 120 degree. So, and let's see. Oops, there's some problem here. So let's try again. So it doesn't look quite right? Because it's hitting the edge, I believe. So when it's in the middle, it's okay because at the location, it cannot go any further. So it just stopped right there. So it doesn't look like triangle at all. So if it's right inside the stage area, then it should draw you a rectangle or triangle this time. Yeah, because it hit the edge, so it will stop there. So it doesn't look like a triangle at all. So as long as it's somewhere inside, so maybe we shouldn't use a random position. So maybe we go to some other location. So maybe go to 100 and negative 100. How about that? I don't know where it is. So let's see. So it's too low. So go back up, maybe 0. That's better. Okay. So now then you can draw a rectangle, square and a triangle. And also we can draw circle. But for circle, it requires you a little bit of math. So in this math, so you will need to ask user to enter the X and Y coordinates of the center of the circle and also the radius. So it will be easier to make a block than to do so. So we will make a new block. So this time we call it draw circle. Then we add an input of X coordinate, an input of Y coordinate, and an input of radius. Okay. So you see, this time I need to define my block. So because we're drawing a circle in some other location, so to make sure that it's drawing in the right location, so make sure the pen is up first, regardless of whatever people did before. So you lift the pen up so that it will not draw to the center point. So then we might want to change the color. So this time, maybe we use a red color, okay? And for this circle, so we need to first go to the center point of the circle. So we will go to actually we'll go to X and the Y because it's center of the circle. And then make sure that the pen is pointing to the 90-degree angle. And then we can move the pen to the circumference. So this time we'll move towards the radius. So we'll move to the outside of the circle from the center. Then we'll start drawing it to the clockwise direction. So what we will do is to make sure that the pen is pointing down first. Okay, so when it's pointing down, so actually we do not need this one. So now we can actually, for example, we want to draw a circle at 0 and then 0 and 100. Okay, so when you run it, better erase the whole thing first. So now you see that it goes to the center point here. So it goes to somewhere radius here. So then we can start actually draw the circle. So after we set up the starting point, then we can start the pen. So we put the pen down. And then we'll need a loop. This time, repeat. So a circle will have 360 degree, right? So in this 360 degree, we'll be moving our pen. So in 1 degree at a time. So how to find out the 1 degree distance to draw? So you know that we'll need to do some math. So the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, right? So 2 times pi, we can use just 3.14 here. And then we need to multiply it by the radius, right? By the radius. Oops. So this is the complete circle, but we only need 1 degree. So we will divide it into 360. So this time is the distance of 1 degree. So we'll move the pen, okay, to 1 degree, and then we change the direction. So this time we change the direction of the pen to only 1 degree, okay? So, and then after we draw it, so we make sure that the pen is up so that we won't screw up other drawing. So, and let's see. Right, so now draw a perfect circle, right? So it is good enough to be a circle. So what we can do with it? So, well, we can draw a circle. Of course, we can draw multiple circles. So, for example, we can use the center again. So this time, maybe I'll draw a smaller one first, and then draw a bigger one, and then even draw an even bigger one, and see. So you see that the pen is looks like it's drawing a circle out. So actually, we can make things a little bit more fun by changing the color. So you can see that this is a change pen color, right? So if every time when we draw 1 degree, we change it by 1. Let's see what happens. So you see that the color actually changed, right? So when you change the color by 1, so eventually you come up with the same color because of overflow. So you can see that it's drawing like this. So different color. And also you can change the pen size to change by 1, maybe this one. So let's see, put it in here. Okay, so it can actually see the difference, right? So you can actually draw different things, right? So it's kind of cool, right? So look very pretty. So there are many things you can draw, so different shapes. So you just have to design your own. Okay, that's all for this part.